Hold on to your hats, folks. This is going to be wild.
860.
You've never seen a tray get tested like this.
We are about to see whether or not a MITS alloy tray can handle about 4 tonnes of Landcruiser. You see, we have been peppered with questions about alloy versus steel trays. So today, we are going to answer a whole host of them. And to help us do so, we're going to do this. Well, that looks sketchy and it feels even sketchier standing underneath it. While the boys do a few final checks up there, let's get stuck into answering all of your questions. Mate, first question is the one we got asked the most, without a doubt. Alloy trays versus steel trays, because you still see a lot of steel trays getting around.
Absolutely.
What's the best?
Mate, they both have, there is no best. That's the best option for you, I think. There's massive benefits to both of them. If you're a cowboy out west, and you're farming, fencing, all the rest of it, loading it up with wood, I'd go to a steel tray.
Okay.
They're going to be heavier, but you're also not going to come across the GVM issues we might with the highway patrol in our local area.
Right,
But they're going to be a harder wearing surface on top. But if you're closer to the coast or you're looking to keep within your GVMs to do towing, that's when you're going to look into the aluminium side of things for sure.
So you're coming down to strength and weight.
Strength and weight.
Yep.
You're going to get overall strength from steel, but aluminium you're going to get very, very comparable rates, and you're going to get way, way lighter materials. You're not going to get corrosion. So we powder coat all our product now, but if your powder coat misses by a tiny little skerrick in the corner, you might not see it. Over time in a steel tray, that's going to leach and you're going to see the rust start to come through. And then that rust is like cancer.
Once you get it, that's it, you're done.
Done, over.
Mate, stock trays. What's the matter? Why can't we just go with a stock tray?
Stock aluminium trays. They serve a purpose. There's absolutely no doubt about it. They serve a purpose. They work as a bed on the back of your tray, on the back of your car, rather. But the issue with the stock aluminium trays is they're designed around ease of manufacture. That's why they're so cheap.
Gotcha.
But when they do that, they use clip lock slats. Those clip lock slats move. So if you were to put a canopy on top of this, flexing through your chassis is going to then break up the canopy. Because they're never going to be built strong enough to handle that. The other one is too, they rattle. They're all built out of extrusion, so there's no sheet work that's really easy to put together. They've got a lot of fasteners, so they're not welded out, so the fasteners can tend to come loose over time. But you know, an entry-level unit, that's a great way to go. And super, super lightweight, not always as strong as you'd like them to be either.
Ugly as a slap face, if you ask me.
Yeah, they are too. Ugly as sin. I haven't seen an extruded tray yet, but I think it looks good. You need some aesthetics. You spend a lot of money on these 4 drives now.
Exactly.
Like, gosh, it's a statement.
Righto, mate, the elephant in the room. Steel trays, are they stronger?
All right, I'm not going to lie to you. In theory, yes, they are stronger, depending on the materials that you use. But the yield strength of steel obviously is higher than an piece of aluminium. So getting technical a little bit. But do you need that much yield strength to build a tray? No. All the testing that we do, all the different bits and pieces that we've tested over the years, you don't need that much yield strength. You're not going to physically do the weight that thing can carry. So the extra weight on your car and the GVM that it incurs on is not worth it. So if you think about this, 2 exactly the same bits of material that I prepared earlier. These are exact same weight. This has been sitting outside next to this piece. Rusted up, they are the same weight.
You got way more here.
You got way more. This is going to be more than enough material strength to handle anything you guys do. It's just unnecessary. So you miss that powder coat.
That's what it's going to look like.
It's going to end up there.
Makes sense to me.
The way we do get a lot of strength out of our stuff is we fold out of sheet. So if you're working with sheet especially, you can cut profiles and shapes, then fold them, and then you can make strength using it that way. And then you're going to decrease weight. You're going to unnecessary materials taken out of it. You can get welds in spots you couldn't normally get welds in. So the idea behind that is you don't need the strength of the steel tray because you'll never use that much.
So steel or alloy? Well, if you're a farmer that bashes their tray around all year and are okay with having something heavier and strong, you can go steel. And a steel tray is better than a cheap alloy tray for sure. However, the fact an alloy tray can be made stronger than steel and can be lighter means an alloy tray would be ideal for touring and tradie four-wheel drives that have canopies. The weight saving is good so you can carry more gear and under GVM. Plus, there's no chance of rust when you go beach four-wheel driving and camping.
But you can make an alloy tray just as strong, if not stronger, than a steel one. I hope.
We're going to put 3.7 tonnes of 79 on the back of the MITS tray to test just how strong it is.
It was your idea.
It was your idea.
All right, well, this is it, mate.
Yep. The moment of truth. I'm glad the wind's finally come up.
It's really starting to pick up.
Yeah,
Look at it sway around up there. All right, you've got the job of actually lowering this thing down onto the points.
Yeah, so I'm going to hold onto the winch rope, the old rumba, and then the other fellow, the dogman, he's going to swing it around, and we'll try and drop it on, and it's the meat and the sandwich.
I got nothing to say. Let's give it a go. That's not much to land on.
Thanks, Jacko.
MITS have welded together a frame that's going to hold the weight of the 79 by the chassis. It's made of the same alloy as their canopies and trays. Then we've simply put the frame on top of the tray. We have the 79 attached to digital scales, which tell us the weight being put on the crane. As you can see, it's approximately 3.7 tonne of 79 series.
Oh yeah, we got the load off.
Once the straps are slack, there is literally no weight on the crane, and the meter is only showing the weight of the straps. Boy, I tell you, that's a lot of weight to put on any tray.
Oh, it's gone loose. Yep, that's off. That's 100% off.
Obviously, you're never going to put 3.7 tonnes onto the back of your ute, but just to prove how strong the tray is, we thought, why not? Oh my God, this is crazy.
That was a pucker moment, but we have proven one thing. Aluminium is strong. And Timbo has a weak stomach. Let's get this down off it. Mate, that is pretty conclusive. Steel, alloy,
I know.
just the same. Do it right and they're just the same, and I'm so thankful for that because I was puckering a little bit.
Absolutely.
But there's nothing wrong down here.
Nah, it all looks pretty good. We've built the frame and everything out of the same materials we do the canopies, so proof's in the pudding.
And this tray is a conventional tray. It hasn't been built for this purpose.
No. This is actually the tray we use for R&D on the Umbagari track.
Right.
Yep.
So it's a bona fide tray.
Yep. It's
You're using the
done
same techniques.
18,000 Ks of corros, and then we did this.
Well, if it can do that, I tell you what, folks, you can handle that. A MITS alloy tray can handle anything you can throw at it. I don't ever want to do that again, though.
No, I'm good. That's enough.
That'll do. Now, look, a tray is not just a big slab of metal that hangs off the back of your four-wheel drive. It's the foundation for way bigger things, whether you've got a full-blown touring setup or maybe you got yourself a tradie ute and you're working out of it every day. So I've got a bunch of questions from folks that want to know all about the mods and accessories you can get for your setup. Righto, mate, excuse my ignorance, but this to me is just a big flat piece of metal. Why can't I just have a crack at making this myself?
Well, you could. I would like to see it. No, in all honesty, go out and have a crack at making your own.
Yeah.
But there is some key things you want to learn. An aluminium tray, probably not the first thing I would jump into. Aluminium is probably the worst metal to try and work with.
Yep.
It's very difficult to weld. It's hard to fold. It has a mind of its own.
Sure.
Mild steel.
Yep.
Much easier process to get in. You can go to Audi, go to the middle section, buy yourself a MIG
stick
welder.
Well, you go. I was going to go stick, but okay.
Yeah, MIG, stick. They've probably got both in it.
Yeah.
So you could definitely do it. There's some fundamentals that people are probably going to miss. You were going to spend the same amount of money if you just bought a cheap imported one.
Yep.
You were in materials, and then if you're not even including your labour materials, you're going to be paying full freight and then your time. You don't know how to mount it.
Yep.
So you've got to figure all of that out.
Yep.
And then you've got to do all the wiring, and say if you've got a new model car, you're going to be searching the internet for companies like Flux 3D to get all of the little wiring looms and parts and bits and pieces to make it actually road legal.
Yep.
So there's a lot of nuance. A steel tray too, if you don't develop the tray right, the car chassis has flex rather.
Yeah.
And if you don't let the chassis flex, it's going to start to crack the
Do
chassis.
damage,
So
yeah.
these are built rather to have a bit of walk in them.
Sure.
Yeah, that's
sure.
why we mount our canopies on the rubber.
Oh, not on the polybox. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, can't warranty my own work.
Yeah, you'll be back in the driveway welding it up, and you've probably spent a lot of money painting it too when it starts
I
to
didn't
fall
think
apart.
about that.
So, No, and if you're buying from us or any reputable manufacturer, you're going to get a lifetime warranty, and you're going to get support nationwide. So you're not going to get that when you do your own thing. And we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just testing trays alone, not even all the other bits and pieces. So, you know.
Yet again, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You could build your own, especially a bloke like me who's handy on the tools, but it's just not worthwhile. Righto, mate. Modern four-wheel drives, I'm sure they give you the era. It's based on the fact that they've got all these bits and pieces. The D-Max and my Y62. Although we've cut the back off the Y62, you essentially do the same with one of these.
Yeah,
You take the tub off, throw it away.
Yeah. So the whole premise is if you're going to do a tray conversion to your tub vehicle, you want to make sure that you refit all the factory functionality. So,
and what is that? What are the
the factory functionality is making sure your indicators work for one.
That's one, that's handy.
Yeah, that's so you've got to make sure you're converting to LED here.
Yep.
You've got your reverse sensors.
Yep.
And then you've got the radar, lane detection, and cameras as well. All
Heaps.
these are integrated all into the CAN bus systems on the modern four-wheel drives now.
Yep.
And they're actually mandated to be on there from 2024. So everything's going to come out with it. If you don't factory fit it, it doesn't comply with the road standards. It doesn't, and then the customer is not going to be happy.
Well, you've got lights, you've got dinging, you've got beeps and whistles, and
the D-Maxes are bang.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't have one light on it.
Yeah.
My Y62, 0 lights as well.
No, that's good.
Everything just works.
So we spend heaps and heaps of time on R&D with these guys.
Yep.
We also fit the Refit brand from Flux, and we work in with those guys immediately. As soon as a new vehicle comes out, we make sure we try and get the first one. The Ford Ranger, really finicky.
Yeah, right.
Even the Ford company itself has come out and said we haven't done a successful conversion. We have one function we can't quite fix, and that's auto braking in reverse. If you need auto brake in reverse, then
I don't even know what that is, but yeah, enough.
But everything else is coming together. They're unreal.
So basically, if you've got a new vehicle, don't be concerned about putting a tray and canopy package on, because every bit of functionality is going to work.
Yeah, please. No, don't be worried about it at all.
Okay.
And all the reputable manufacturers, including us, are going to be able to do the same thing.
Gotcha.
It's just catching up in the times.
Mate, being the mad dog touring professional that I am, for me, one of the limiting factors out bush is water.
Water.
When I talked to you about it, you said, never fear, I have a solution.
Water is here.
Yeah, water is here. What, in your humble opinion, where's the best place to put a water tank?
We find putting it on the head bow, it comes standard, there's 30 litres there.
Yep.
And having it there is a great use of space.
Well, nothing else can go there.
No.
It's dead space.
That's dead space. Having it up there, it's nice and low still, so it's not too high up. It's going to be good.
Yep.
It's not a massive amount of water, 30 litres, but you can make it last if you know how to use water.
Yep.
We also do the under tray water as well. That's a great one. That's 60 litres on a pump there.
Yep.
But you do sacrifice the under tray draw length when it comes to that sort of stuff.
And you rang me up and you said, what are you going to be carrying in your under tray drawer? I said, not much. I don't need much. It's Nissan. I don't need tools.
Yeah.
You said, let's put another 60 litres of water down there with the pump.
Yep.
I've got 90 litres.
Yep.
That's all for me washing water, and then I carry my drinking water separately as well.
Yep.
So I can have like 120, 130 litres on board because of these two.
Yep. And I did the whole Kimberley trip that we did on that with those two tanks full.
Yep.
And because we were so nervous about using up water, I came back with 3/4 of this.
Yeah, that's the problem, mate. These have become my newest best friend on the Y62.
That's awesome.
12,000 Ks of bull dust.
Yep.
Some deep water crossings. You'll see that coming up on off-grid.
Yep.
I opened this up when I got home.
Yep.
This side's got my recovery gear in it. Not
Goldfish.
a drop of water.
No goldfish.
And no goldfish and no dust. I thought that, I mean, look at the amount of dust that would come up past this.
Yep.
No dust.
Yeah, you're right in that cyclone spot of the tyre.
In the thick of it,
there.
What's the secret to these bad boys?
Well, I know, to be honest, is the double lip.
There's a good representation there, yeah. Yep.
And then the other one is making sure you choose a really good plush automotive seal. You don't crease that automotive seal when you do it.
Yep.
And we've spent a heap of time working with the manufacturers of these to understand what kind of rubber compounds go into it and then whether or not they permeate. So some of these seals that are on the market, they're actually not waterproof. The rubber's not waterproof. So as it hits it, it's not going to do it. And then the amount of crush that happens, you don't want to smush the crap out of it because it's just going to deform. Making sure you've got everything lined up, and it's a real art form, and it's taken us many years to get it sorted out, is make sure the water runs off with the channels, and then any water that does hit this isn't crushed so much that it's going to fall through the other side as well.
See, if you'd asked me given the complexity of everything you're dealing with in modern day making of these canopies and trays, that would just be some Bunnings rubber.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
You've gone to that much trouble that you actually know whether or not that's going to be porous, how far it's going to crush.
You need to know that, because basically we want to, like every automotive manufacturer, we take that in.
Yep.
A car manufacturer knows what seal they're using, and we want to make sure we know the same things, all the materials, everything else that go into it.
Well, 12,000 k's of WA bull dust, not one bit of dust in there. It's working, mate.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Mate, I'm not going to sugarcoat it or powder coat it, depending on how you want to look at things. This is a big investment.
It is.
How long should a tray and canopy package last?
The life of the vehicle.
It's a fair while.
Yeah. So as long as the vehicle lasts, the tray and canopy should.
Okay.
Like the Toyota method of manufacturing,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Commonly known as one of the better manufacturers.
Arguably known.
Yeah. But it should last the life of the vehicle. As long as it's fitted there, you've invested a lot of money into one of these things.
Yep.
It should last as long.
So what's the warranty worth with a MITS tray?
We have a lifetime manufacturer's warranty. So as long as it is because of us, we will warrant it. Full replacement.
No matter what?
Yep.
So in 50 years when I'm still driving my Y62
I would
around?
love to see one of these in 50 years. I'd love to, that'd be brilliant.
Okay, that's cut and dried, folks. Lifetime manufacturer's warranty.
Yep.
Pains me to say this.
Yes.
A Hilux is one of the more popular vehicles out there for a tray and canopy package.
Yep.
What's a good size for a Hilux?
Mate, anywhere from this size, which is about 1765, including the head bone, to around 1800. The way you want to sort of pick your tray for your vehicle is by the departure on the back here. So
that's what I'm talking.
This is the original Hilux. This is the one, it's just had a little upgrade. So we took this to Tassie and a couple of other trips.
Yep.
But if you have a look back here, you can see the cutaway here and the tow ball point is all nice and condensed. So if you're actually towing or doing anything of that sort, it's kind of the ideal length. Any longer and you're going to have things further out, you're going to be reaching underneath to
Looks
get
a
your
bit
trailer
oddball
on
as
and
well.
on. Yeah, it doesn't quite suit the aesthetic of the vehicle either. Anywhere from 1600 through to 18. 18's getting a little bit long.
Yep.
And then 18, you're also going to come up on GVM sort of stuff because you tend to overload them because you've got that extra 200 mil.
And are they all standard width?
For all of our dual cab range is the exact same width.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So this vehicle here, you could in turn pull off, throw on the D-Max.
Yes, that's what I was getting at.
New set of mounts and away you go.
So you could, if you sell this vehicle, you could sell it with, say, the tray on it, but keep the canopy, put that on your next four-wheel drive.
Yep, 100%.
That's so cool. That's a really cool feature.
The whole idea of all of our Gen 1, like Gen 1, Evo 1, all the way Evo 2, and the next generations is we want to make it inner work with the outdated stuff or the back catalogue.
That's a great idea.
So, and if it's an investment, you spend a lot of money.
Yep.
Say you've thrown it on an old Triton. Triton's had its day.
Yep.
You pull it off, you come to us, we'll get a mount kit for you, a wiring loom, throw it back on, you can put it on your brand new D-Max, you can put it on your brand new Ford Ranger, whatever you've upgraded to.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And that's something I don't think too many people understand. You can keep that for your life.
Yeah,
If
that's
you
the
want.
whole idea.
That's super cool.
Yep.
There you go. Steel, alloy, expensive, cheap. Look, there's no real right or wrong. Comes down to what you need for your particular setup. And the beautiful thing about that is it means you've got choices. If you reckon you've worked it out, you know what works best for you, chuck it in the comments down below because I'd genuinely like to know what you guys are doing out there in the real world. And if there's any questions we didn't answer, chuck them in the comments as well, and I'll put Timbo to work answering them. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll catch you next time.